Hey guys, welcome to Traditional Bowhunting Wilderness Podcast. This is Jason Samkovic. Today we're going to give you some tips for hanging your sets in the dark. We're using this tree. It's got a lot of ferns around here that are decorative, but this is the environment that you're normally going to be in when you're walking out in the woods. And some of this stuff is going to help you out tremendously. So first thing, we got some safety tips when we get on a tree, which we'll cover with the sticks and stuff like that. But before we do, when it comes to even unpacking, okay, you're going to be in this sort of a mess here. So when you're setting all your gear down, you got to pay attention. Oh, hang on, Stegan. There we go. You got to pay attention to what you're putting where. Same with your pack, where you're going to put stuff at. And you want to make sure everything is in the correct pockets and in the correct locations. Because if it's not, you're in a world of trouble when you go to try to unpack this stuff. You're going to lose things. Again, this is the type of scenario you're going to be in when you're out there in the woods. It's not going to be all pretty yard like we're in right now. So you have to make sure everything is in the right pocket. So when you first set your gear down, you also have all this trip factor as well too. I can't tell you how many times I've set my sticks and stands down and then I start looking at stuff and then you take a step backwards and I trip on this stuff and you fall down. Okay, so you learn early on. You take your gear, which I don't have these connected right now, so we're going to pretend that they are. But you take your gear when you get to the tree, set it against the tree. That way it's there, it's safe, it's out of the way, nothing's falling. You got it all, your whole stand rig, put it right against the tree that you plan on climbing. That way it's safe and it's out of your way while you have room to work. Next thing we're going to do is you're going to go ahead and get into your pack. When you get into your pack and you start getting your stuff ready, know exactly where all your key items are that are in your pack, okay? I know that when I set this down, by the way I pack it, okay, once I set this up, I know that the first thing I'm going to grab is going to be my harness right here like that, okay? Very first thing I'm going to get a hold of is my actual harness. Now, this rope should be rolled up, but I was doing a video with it earlier, so it's not. But I know my harness is here, so I can put that on first. So you're going to go ahead and put your harness on so that you're set and all good. Bugs. But you put on your harness first. I also know that the next thing I'm going to grab out of here is going to be my lineman belt. Okay, so I know I have these two things on the top. Why? Because I'm going to need them and I'm going to need to do this in the dark. I put my harness on here in the dark. Then, but see, you don't want to be scattered. And if it were on the bottom and I got to start pulling stuff out and setting it around, I'm in a nasty environment here. I'm losing stuff. Okay, so set your pack up so that your stuff is there. My haul line for my bow, I didn't bring my bow out here, but my haul line, watch this. Side pocket right here where my GPS goes, okay? This pocket right here, this is always my haul line. It is right here, and it lives in that pocket. That way I know exactly where it is all the time, and I don't have to fight through my pack to get it. Everything is in a place that I know, in a place that I can access. My saw, now I don't have this set up for deer hunting yet, this pack, but my saw always rides right here. Okay, so if I need it, I have my saw right here. All that stuff is in a place. My headlamp that I'm wearing here for visual purposes would go in this top pocket right here. So everything goes in its place so that nothing can be lost when I get to this process. So you put your harness on, you have your lineman belt on, you got everything ready, and you got your stand and stuff there. Now when you're ready to break that down, take it out, pull it away from the tree, set it down on the ground so you can take your straps off and all your stuff that you got. With my straps and my, see, I'm already losing stuff because of the fact that I did, where did I put the, here it is. So I take my two straps and I take my foam sponge. They go like this right next to the tree. I know exactly where they are. They are within an inch of the base of the tree, so I will not lose them. So I set that stuff right there because, again, it's dark. And even if it was daytime, I do the same thing because I'm going to be coming down in the dark. It's the same process, just reversed. We need to have that stuff taken care of. So I do that. Then the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take my stand and I'm going to put it on my back because I'm going to need to climb with it anyway. I have my lineman belt on. I have my stuff. Now this is on my back. Why? So I don't trip on it. Okay, I'm not going to be walking around tripping, flipping, stepping on it, crashing into it, having it over here, forgetting it and climbing up. It's already on my back. I already have it ready. When I put my sticks on, I'm going to grab my stick and we'll use this one. The other one, you know, I usually use one with an 8-er, but when we put this on, all of them that you're going to put on here, the thing you have to remember, I don't even know if the strap will reach around this tree. I've never tried putting a stand on this one yet, but I'm going to show you something here. So we're going to throw this around. It is not going to reach. So much for that trick, but that's okay. I can bring it in and show you closer anyway. But when you put your sticks on the tree in the dark, it is very important that you understand this. I'm probably going to burn out with the light here a little bit. There's a lot of times that you're going to put this on here and that may not be fully seated. You'll have it like this, okay? Where it's like this. Now, forgive the camera and the lighting. I'm going to turn it on so I can bring you in and show you. See how that is only half on that button? Okay, not all the way on like this, but you will run into times where you will lock it like this, where it is not fully locked on there. That's a very dangerous scenario. You step on that, that can pop right off that button. So making sure that you don't have it like this, which does happen, make sure each one is completely seated on there and perfectly behind your Versa button. And you do this for the sticks and the stands. But it's very common in the dark situations when you're hanging at to put it on there, think it's on there all the way, and even if it is all the way on, when you go to grab your strap and you yank it, you do this and you go to yank it. Wow, I just did it. Watch. Okay, again, I'm gonna put my light on here for you so you can see. Now watch when I do this. Okay, so I go to yank it. Oh, did you see what happened? I just pulled it off. So we have that on there. It doesn't matter which way you are. Okay, but if I have that on there and I go to pull that back to yank it, okay, see how that moves? And that can flip off like this. You not even realize it. I have bugs landing on my head. But you can roll that right off. It does happen. Okay, you put that on there like that. You go to flip it and you go to tighten it. See what it's doing here? See how it's doing that overhand thing, flipping and twisting? If I pulled that hard enough, look it, you can, oh, look, I pulled it off. So be careful of that, okay? When you put your sticks on, be very careful of that. Now, also, if you're like me and you're going to climb with your sticks connected to that other stick, set them off to the side so they're out of the way to be safe. And on your harness, when you are using your harness, this is where it's vitally important that you, let me turn that light off, very, very important that you make sure that with your lineman belt, that you are connecting to your loops rock solid. This is the #1 reason that I use a metal loop on my harnesses, okay? The reason for that is this is a rock solid feel. When I lock this carabiner into this, okay, I feel that complete lock on that metal ring. I know I'm not connected to any other part of the harness. I am on that metal ring. Very, very important to have that solid connection. If you're using a fabric loop instead of these, make sure you fish that in and make sure it's all the way in, and actually use your headlamp like this and look down and make sure that when you're connecting that you are locked in, rock solid and connected to that. On this side, look over here, look down, make sure you are connected. Very important, because in the dark it's very easy to connect this to another part of this or not get the full connection and not get inside that fabric loop. Again, like I said, #1 reason I use the metal loops. They are easy to figure out in the dark. John at Tactic Saddle also makes them with a glow-in-the-dark loop, which is really nice because they light up when your headlamp hits them and you can lock in solid. But it's important. I can't emphasize that enough to make sure you catch that loop exactly perfect. Everything you do when you're setting up in the dark, coming down is a lot easier when you're coming down at night after dark, and everybody's done that. But when you're going to go into a spot you've never been, you're going to hang a stand in a tree you've never been in, and you're doing this all blind in the morning, all of these little factors are very, very big. They mean a lot. You have to take the time with them. Now, also, before I climb, that's the safety factor of doing that stuff right there. But now before, if I pick this tree, I need to know where I'm going to go. It's dark out here. Okay, I got a light on for us, but it's dark. I don't know what's going on this tree. I just know that I want this one. I'm going to use my headlamp, and I'm going to use it a couple of different ways. First, I'm going to start with it on low mode, and I'm going to look up in there. Sometimes you got to tip it. Okay, and I'm going to see where I want to go. I want to look around the bottom here. I want to see, and I'm going to go, oh, I want to go right there. Okay, that's going to give me perfect. So now I have a game plan, and I know where I want to be at. Sometimes you might even have to bump that light up a little brighter. Okay, I don't know what I just did to this one. I don't wear this one that much. Hang on, let's see here. Does that go? That's the focus. There we go. But I can go like this, and I can really light everything up there, and I can see and go, I got good shooting out of it there, good shooting there. If I go there, I'm going to be perfect. If I drop off that side, I'll be good. I can shoot from there. I want to be tucked in over there. Okay, I know exactly where I want to go, and I can go back down. Hang on. Come on. There we go. Am I off? Yeah. There we go. And go. I think I just went to green. No, did I? I don't even know. Like I said, I don't use. There we go. I don't use this one too much except for when I'm on a boat. That's where someone lives at. But so point being, I can figure all that out. Use your headlight to answer those questions. Use it on low, give you a feel. Turn it on high. Make sure you're going to have the shooting set high beam. I can see all kinds of stuff everywhere around me and identify what's going on and where my shooting lanes are. Very important. So then I know what to do and I know how to climb. Now we also want to watch as we're going up this tree and we're getting set for, again, you've never been on it before. Keep an eye out for any of the stuff on here that's going to screw you up. If they're shaggy bark trees, this one is not too bad being a pecan tree, but a lot of them, if they're real shaggy bark, they're going to be real slippery. When that strap is around there and you got to crush all that stuff in, it's going to be noisy, but it could also be very slippery and dangerous. So make sure you're setting everything. What I mean by that is throw your sticks around, lock it on, make sure the stick is set rock solid on there, and if it's got too much of an angle, grab the stick, lift it up, put it back there, yank it tighter, then do it again. And that's how you're going to make sure they're seated on here and they're going to be safe for you. Everything has to be done slower. Everything has to be done methodical. And everything has to be done the right way to keep you safe and get you where you want to be. Hanging your stand up there, same kind of thing. The only light source you have is on your head. That means that if you're looking here, you can't see this. That means that if you throw that stand on around a tree and you're holding it and you try to lock it on that Versa button, and then you yank on that tight and you turn your head away, you don't see if it stayed on or not. You have to physically aim your headlamp, okay, at the back of the stand. So you put that on there, you got to aim your headlight at the back bracket and make sure it's seated good. You have to aim your headlight at the platform, make sure it's good. You have to aim at the Versa button, make sure it's good. Look around a tree, make sure that you're sealed. Everything is safe. It has to be done, but you have to do it all in the dark. So it's a lot different than taking it down in the dark. So just make sure you pay attention. And like I said, when you keep all of your stuff in the unique pockets they go. That way you're not losing anything. And also while we're at it and we're talking about that stuff, do not keep anything that's important that you need. Sorry, my cable's getting caught up here. In any of these little outside flat pockets that don't have zippers, okay? Nothing important in those pockets where when you do have to lay your pack down like that, they fall out. Again, you're in this kind of stuff. If it falls out of your pocket, it's gone. Same with pockets on your lid on your inside of your pack, okay? Many of us use packs that have pockets on the insides of the lid like this. Okay, we have a pocket here, we got a pocket here. This one's actually open because there's nothing in it. But if that was just an open expandable pocket and not a zipper closed pockets, if these didn't close, I wouldn't put anything of value in these, because when I go to pack this stuff up, or if I need to get in here, I'm ripping that open and I'm doing that, anything can fall out. And again, in this stuff, disappear on you and you've lost it for good. So you don't want to deal with that. Keep all of your essential stuff in easy to get to places. And then every time you take something out, whether it's like going for my headlamp, like I was saying, out of this pocket, when I go to get my headlamp out of here and I reach in, I grab my headlamp, I put it on my head, I zip that pocket shut. Okay, that way there's no chance of me then opening this bag and now everything that was in that closed or that pocket here now spills out into all the ferns and crap, and I've lost everything that's in there. You don't want to have that happen. And it happens to people all the time. You would be amazed how much stuff we find in the woods when you're out there at the base of trees because of this exact reason. Now, when I hook my haul line on me and I'm getting ready to climb the tree, we're going to pretend this stick is my bow, just because I didn't bring a bow out here for this. So let's just pretend that this is a bow. And we're going to set this on here. And we're going to seal her down so it's organized. There we go. So when I got my haul line, I've got my sticks on it, a stick on the tree stand here. I'm ready to start climbing. I have my pack laying here. I'm going to also put my bow on the same haul line. I will stick them. I make my haul line long enough that I can put them out here. Okay. Now I put them out here so they're both together here. I have my bow and that. They're connected on the same haul line. That haul line comes up and connects to my side. So when I climb, they're off to the side. If I start to climb and realize I forgot something or need to do something, I step back down. There's no chance of me stepping on my bow. There's no chance of my bow being against the tree and leaning into my sticks and then rubbing on there. And when I step on that stick, it's scratching my bow up. My bow is laying flat on the ground, safe over here, out of the way, next to my pack. Also, something you need to think about. I told you guys that I wanted to be over here. I said I want to be over on this side. Now, even though I'm going to climb here, I said I want to be on this side of the tree. What did I do wrong? What's the mistake I made? I put my bow and my pack over here. I'm going to go a stick here, then a stick here, then another stick there to put me on that back side of the tree. I can't climb up the middle of this. I can't get up there. So I got to go here, here, here as I climb up to get up to there. Now, if I'm there and my pack and my bow are all the way over here, I have to fight to drag them into the tree, fight them over here, pull them up. Who knows what I'm going through? So what I should have done, because I know where I'm going to set up on there, is put my bow and my pack over on this side and connect it over here on this side on my left side with my buckle. So now when I start climbing and I get set in my stand, which is going to put me over on this side of the tree, when I pull this up, my bow and my pack are laying right here where they should be, easy for me to access. All of these little things that you're going to do are going to make a tremendous difference for you when you are setting up in the dark on a new spot. So there's a lot of little things that can slow you down and can mess you up, but the safety factor is the biggest one. But again, it's pitch black out. Pitch black and you're doing all this in the middle of the woods. Right now we got a light on, but there it's easy peasy to lose stuff, to forget things, to not have stuff, to lose things out of your pack. We don't want that to happen. So hopefully you enjoyed this little tips and video on that kind of stuff and getting set up. When you're up there too, make sure when you are tying on your knots or you are doing your connections or whatever you're doing, when you are locking into that tree, I tie a bow line around that tree. Okay, that's what I do. I do a bow line. So if we can wrap it around, hang on, I'll show you another tip too. Okay, but so we wrap it around. I got to do this knot. Okay, I have to actually take this, flip it, drop it in, run it around, bring it back, bring it up this way, and I just tied my bow line. Okay. But I have to tie that knot while I'm up there. I'm not going to want it this far away from the tree, so I got to bring that in nice and tight like this, okay, and lock that in. But I got to do this up there in the dark. Buy a headlamp. Make sure you take your time. Double check your work on everything because it is dark out. If I mistakenly take this knot and I twist it this way and I come in the wrong way and I go around this way, and let's say I come up through here and I do this, and I think I'm set. Okay, good. We're locked in. All right. See, I think I'm good. That knot feels good. Everything's good there, right? No, that knot is nothing more than an overhand knot. It's all it ended up being. I would rip that right out if I fell on it. So you have to take your time and make sure everything you want and everything you do is performed to perfection in the dark with just the aid of a headlamp. When you step on your steps going up, make sure you see them. Take your time. I just can't emphasize it enough. It is a whole different world. And I hang so many stands in the dark in the mornings. It's my number one way to hunt. And always in a tree I've never been to, in an area I haven't been to that I found on a map. And it's a whole different world of everything. It's important that you do this. Now, as you climb, okay, because if you're like me and you've never been to this spot, as you are climbing, you need to use that headlamp again. Okay, you're going to turn it on, turn that thing on bright, so that as you climb, you can scan for your shooting lanes when you're up there, and then turn it back down to low. Keep climbing up a little further. Once you get up on that third stick and you're like, I want to be somewhere right in here, I usually try to check for shooting lanes about at the top of my second stick so I know what I can do with my third stick. And but as I'm climbing, I'm starting to figure that out. So I'm standing on top of my second stick and I do that. I just turn on my high and I start scanning. I can shoot there. I can shoot there. I got a window through here. I can shoot there. I'm going to put my stand on this side. This is all going to be perfect. Okay, I have my lanes. Boom. I go back to my lower mode. I hang my stand on, put it there. When I step into my stand, before I do anything else, I'm tied in. But before I start pulling up my stands and my sticks, or my stands and my bow, before I pull up my pack and my bow and get settled in, as soon as I'm tied in and standing on that stand, even before I take my alignment belt off, I'm going to do that again. I'm going to turn this on, and then I'm going to go to high, and I'm going to, from my stand, check each of those positions. Make sure I have those shooting windows around me that I'm looking for, and that everything is going to be okay. Just see the size of the wolf spiders in here. And wow, there's some crazy critters running around my yard right now. But so I'm going to set that whole thing up and make sure that I am dialed in and perfect. before I get all my stuff up. Because if I'm not, I might need to take that stand and drop it down 6 or 8 inches to give me another window. Or I might need to come all the way to my second stick, pull my stand off, come to my second stick, reposition my third stick a little higher so that I can get my stand up there more so I can get to those windows. Okay, like I said, there's a lot of variables where you'd never have to do that during daytime. As you climb, you just look, everything is peaceful, beautiful, and it's easy. You don't have that luxury in the dark. So hopefully these tips will help keep you safe, keep you from getting frustrated, keep you from having to rechange things a lot. And hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching.